This is the Brain Type Brainstorm, and I wanted to try to start brainstorming parts of self and how that is really helpful to have conversations for for everybody, but especially for neurodivergent clients who have a multitude of very strong emotions happening simultaneously. And again, this can happen for lots of people, but it is also heightened in neurodivergent systems many times, so that we are feeling these things amplified. And so they really do feel bigger inside of our system than it may make sense to the outside world that I'm feeling. That presence of these really amplified experiences and emotions it helps us to be able to have a framework for how to engage with each of these pieces of information that come forth to help us understand the reality that we're living in, but more so understand how my body is responding to a very different reality externally. Maybe it's very different, maybe it's very similar, maybe I'm reading it correctly, but understanding how my body is responding to it helps me understand what's actually happening. And so for this, there is a fun theory that I work with that is called internal family systems. And this is not my own theory. This is a well-known theory. You're welcome to look it up and research as much as you want. There's many books and many sources on it. It's IFS for short. And my very simplistic explanation of it on ground level is that it's kind of like an Inside Out movie. So in the movie Inside Out, where inside of the brain there are these different characters, but it's a little bit more complex than Inside Out, because in Inside Out these different characters are each one emotion. So you got joy and sadness and fear, and they're all separate. However, in our actual systems, the internal family system theory is saying that we have many parts of self that make up our ship. You know, if we have like a sailing ship and I have a crew, there's a whole bunch of my crewmates, and then we also have a captain though, and that's going to be important later. But it's important to recognize that each of these parts, each of my crewmates in my mind ship can have their own emotions. So like my inner child can feel joy or anger. It's not that like one part of me only feels angry and one part of me feels sad. So it's a bit more complex. It's kind of like a family system, hence the internal family system idea here. So it's like a family where there's autonomous parts, but it is part of a cohesive unit. At least it should be, hopefully, operating like as such. So when we start to bring those theories, you start to look at how our mind is a family unit, and we have a captain that we're trying to have run the ship, but be able to acknowledge the crewmates, right? I got a good captain on this ship is able to acknowledge, thank you for that information. I need that. I don't know what to do with that yet, but keep bringing me information. A bad captain will say, keep that kind of crap to yourself. Like, we don't need to hear that right now, or that's just negative, or whatever it is, dismissing it. That's not a good leader. So we are learning how to tap into captain mode when we feel our parts take over the ship. And sometimes our parts are just angry. They just feel that emotion, and they are one goal mind with just one part of me takes over. We call this blending with our part, when my captain's not in charge and my part is now completely taken over. Again, this is a big emotional response. Scientifically, this is the amygdala hijack, right? Like when I'm in fight, flight, freeze, a part of myself has taken over and is in one track mind of trying to get some goal met, usually with keeping me safe or expressing some emotion, like I said, a big emotion that has taken charge. My goal is, with all of my clients, is to try to calm that response, validate that there's a reason that my part of me is feeling that. That part of me is probably telling me some information that I really do need to know. But it can't just say, now you drive. So breathing is one way that I call captain. Remember, captain is part of this prefrontal cortex, if we're speaking again scientifically, but in this theory, taking a breath, calling on captain, hey captain, I need some control here. And so captain comes with C energy, C words, and it's like calm, compassionate, curious, creative. These are the types of things that, oh, and connected is another big one there. So these are the types of vibes that captain brings, where it's, I'm curious why you're feeling that. I'm calm enough to feel this. You can express your emotion however you need to. I'm listening. That's a captain energy. But going like, you need to stop this right now. That is, sometimes I do need to get to that space, but that going there immediately tells me that something else, some other part of me has taken charge. And this is where I'll very briefly share that it breaks into other pieces. My parts can fall into categories, and I'll go into more details of that in another video here. But they can fall into other roles. So all of my parts are a part of me. They are very helpful and good, and they are parts of my family. They deserve to be here. And sometimes they can get burdened. They get some goal in their mind, and if that's the only thing that they are caring about, it can be out of balance. And so that burden is what I'm trying to address. The burden that they're carrying, not the part themselves. I'm not trying to get rid of parts of myself or silence parts of myself or make them do things. What I'm trying to do is get to know them, understand what they're trying to tell me, learn how to validate, show compassion, while maintaining captain mode, so that I'm able to navigate when these parts do have their burden show up loud and clear. More to come.